What's up, guys? Zeenigami here, and let's go through some One Piece Treasure Cruise news. On the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, I have to burp, but I'm going to contain it while we do this news update. I lied. It's gone now, and I feel so much better. On the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, 6 Plus Aokiji is now available. 6 Plus Aokiji, very, very, very good. One of the better upgrades as far as 6-star to 6 Plus goes. Just basically straight up better than 6-star Aokiji in like every single way. So if you have 6-star Aokiji, you want to evolve him to 6 Plus, upgrade him to 6 Plus. He is so good. Better captain ability, better special ability. Amazing dude. Like actually makes him like a really good captain. So we also have on Japan a new Admiral Blitz Battle coming out. This is probably exactly the same Blitz Battle that has happened before. That being I believe it's, oh, what was the stamina? 15 stamina for Aokiji, 35 stamina for Kizaru, and 40 stamina for Akainu. So if you go back, look at old guides for the Blitz battles, probably this is gonna be the same thing, because this isn't like a big new event. This is not something that we're gonna be grinding like crazy for, because with this event, it's basically like the 15 stamina missions that we used to get, that we have not gotten a new one in a long time. The Blitz battle is to do as much damage as you can in a single turn. That's it, just biggest burst turn damage that you can do. Things to note, just like in general, is that on the Akainu stage, it's a bunch of quick characters, but Akainu himself has a great hit barrier. So that can be... while we're going to make some strategies, and I'm going to be posting some teams about like how you can beat them and what you're going to need to do, they do each have a bunch of fodder units. Like, Akainu has a bunch of strength fodder units around him, Kizaru has a bunch of yellow and blue fodder units around him, and Aokiji has a bunch of blue and purple units around him. So if you're using teams that don't do like AoE damage, you should be able to get like a full attack burst out on that final stage. We also have a bunch of units that are going to have their stats boosted. So we don't know how much damage you're going to have to do, but if you're using one of the characters who are boosted, which if you go over to Game With, or I'm sure Reddit will have this list also, if I remember I'll post this link in the video description down below, you can see all the characters that have their attacks, or all their stats boosted by 1.5 times, and their cooldowns reduced by 10 turns. So Luffy, Buggy, Ace, Marco. This should be all versions of the character, not just like the one character. So like any Luffys, any Buggies, any Aces, they all will be boosted by 1.5 times stats and have their cooldowns reduced by 10 turns. So if you're trying to do that big burst, of course you want to use a lot of characters, especially on your final characters that are doing the most damage on the burst. You want to use some of these characters here, so you basically get a free 1.5 times attack boost. So this, we also, it's probably going to be a different burst goal for each of the 3 different admirals, different one for Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru. And Akainu is going to drop +3 stat cotton candies. Kizaru is going to drop +2 stat cotton candies, and Aokiji is going to drop +1 stat cotton candies. So if you want to farm for cotton candies, Akainu does have +3 of them available on him. So it's not going to be like yellow cotton candy, it's just going to be, if you get a red cotton candy, it's going to be worth 3 of them. When you feed that to a character, it still maxes at 100 per stat, but that means you only need like 33 + 1 cotton candies of Akainu in order to like max out any one character's stats. And something else that we have not talked about yet is the new Franky action. So there's a lot of speculation about the new Franky, what the new Franky is, and what the new Franky does. I actually don't know how to get to that. Go to an island and go into menu. Oh, right. So the new Franky action is the second captain action that exists in the game. Let's start that. It's probably not Legend Franky, because the new Franky action starts at a 30-turn cooldown and goes down to a 15 or 17-turn cooldown. which a legend doesn't have that many skill ups. Legends nowadays have 5 skill ups or so. That's not the right button. One of these is the right button. Nope. No. No. Ah. Here we go. Is that one? No, it should be next one. I can figure this out. Haha! Franky. So treasure map is probably the next big guess that is gonna be a treasure map Franky. The way he's gonna work is when you use his captain action, is gonna have a cooldown of 4 turns. And then depending on what character you attack with next is going to change his attack style. Like if you attack with a fighter character, he's going to boost the attack by 1.25 times. A slasher character will attack characters in the same row. A shooter character will attack characters with a weak AoE around them. A striker character will deal like equal AoE damage to all characters. So it's gonna be really interesting to see, like, well, there are... this is like the first way to attack and get around a fixed target. Like if I know if I am a fixed target on the boss and they have a bunch of weak AoE characters around, then I can attack with a shooter character, do some decent damage to the boss and also damage all the characters around the boss. If there's a bunch of equally health characters, I can use a striker character and do damage to all of them equally. Or if you're just bursting down one character, you can just attack with a fighter character to do lots of damage to that one character's a flat 1.25 times attack boost to one character. It is going to be based off of the first class of a character. For example, here Rob Lucci is a fighter slasher, but whenever you attack with Rob Lucci after you activate the captain action, is going to count him as a fighter character, not a slasher character. But if it does not have a primary one, then it'll use the secondary action, secondary class instead. It's like here, fighters get 1.5 times boost. Slashers deal damage in the row. Strikers deal damage to everybody. The strikers deal half damage to everybody. Slashers, I think it says here how much damage Slasher does in a row. Shooters deal 75% damage to the main target and 30% damage to all other targets. And it has a 4-turn cooldown. After you use it, you can't use that captain action again for another 4 turns. And if you want to find out, since this is Franky, all the characters will jump in. You'll only have your Franky on the field. So you'll see here, there's only one giant Franky. You don't have like your 6 crew members, which is like super cool. Just having all your characters jump into and pilot a giant Franky. I love the like idea and concept behind that. Thank you, Bandai, for making a fun captain action. If you want to find out what your character stats are, you just click on these little Franky balls over here, and it'll tell you your character stats that the character would have when you attack with them. So this is like super cool. I love this as a concept. We don't know how we're going to be getting this Franky yet. We're still going to be keeping an eye out for that. Hopefully it'll be something that we can farm, and it won't be like a rare recruit character Franky or something like that you won't have access to. So yeah, new Franky on the horizon. Unlikely to be a legend. Our next best guess is that he might be a treasure map character or something else. I've been Zeenigami, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay beautiful.